Hello there, and welcome back to Wonder Lake Amusement Park. This is episode 2, and today we're going to be working on finishing the Shoot-the-chute style water ride. So we're starting off with our entrance signage, and we're going to do a little scenery piece here on in a second, just to kind of lure you onto the area. But before I start talking too many details, I just want to take a moment to thank everybody who has watched and left a comment and subscribed. We've basically doubled subscribers, which isn't a ton, but we've doubled subscribers since the last episode, which is super exciting, and I'm really grateful for it. I've also heard a lot of really good things from comment sections, forums, and just people in person just spreading a lot of love. So thank you so much for that. It definitely helps in this new journey of starting a YouTube channel. But here we are now onto the actual signage, just really basic, trying to keep it simple. I wanted to do a little more, and I was kind of playing around with trying to find some kind of waterfall signage, but I couldn't really figure anything out, and I just decided to keep the easy typeface there. Now we're going to continue on just kind of messing around with adding a little more elements to the area and giving a little more detail to this, just more rock work and all that good stuff, more foliage, if you will, to the area, just to kind of give you the sensation of being in nature when you're on this ride. Here I'm just adding some flowers just to add a little. Yeah, we care. We want to show our guests that we do care, that this looks nice. It's not just all overgrown. So adding some nice pretty flowers throughout just to bring color to the eye as you are lured around to the water tower. And eventually this waterfall structure that I'm starting to build now. Well, actually, I'm not starting to build it now. You'll see it in a second. I put plants here eventually, or at first rather, but change that up here in a second. You'll see. Continue to add some station details out onto the actual sign. Bring those lights over, and also putting some of this age texture that I got from the Steam Workshop. I don't know the creator off the top of my head, but it's a really cool way to kind of spice up just making the signage look a little more weathered, per se. So as I scroll through this menu trying to find different things to add and ultimately don't add, I kind of want to just briefly talk about myself just a little bit without going into too many details. So first and foremost, I am a musician. I'm a drummer and am in a band right now. I also work a full-time job and am married. So this channel is a new adventure for me, and it's been just an absolute joy. I have edited for gaming YouTubers in the past. Can't say who, but I have, and that it brings me a lot of joy to be back in the game, per se, just editing my own videos. It's something I've wanted to do for a very long time, between making drum content and just gaming stuff in general. And with the release of Planet Coaster 2 coming out, it kind of rekindled my love and joy for this game, and I figured it'd be great to capture that and just put that journey out on the internet. So if you do like what you are seeing, feel free to like and subscribe. I feel obligated to say that, but a lot of you have already taken that upon yourself, and I'm extremely grateful for that. But anyways, back to the ride here. As you can see, we're adding this waterfall here, just getting some details and some fencing to lead you in to the ride's queue and exit, where soon we'll add on to that bridge that you saw earlier on, just to complete that and finish off the area. One thing I do want to add real quick before we move on from this section is this little water feature is heavily inspired by Rip Roaring Rapids at Carowinds. While it's not exactly the same thing, I basically was just trying to capture the overall vibe that the entrance at Rip Roaring Rapids used to have. It no longer exists, and I couldn't find any pictures that kind of show the reference, but like I said, it was just going off my memory. But now we're starting to work on the actual entrance to the queue. Don't really do anything crazy special here. It's pretty basic, just one text little font here. I mess around with the font, and I add some rocks, but I mean, there's really not much else. You'll see me kind of poking around trying to cover the generic in-game queue markers. I don't think I actually successfully come up with anything, but I do struggle with that quite a bit. I have this really ugly block. You can kind of see me toying it with it there, but I built this block cover, and it doesn't look good. So I just scrapped the whole entire thing, and I don't really remember what I do, so we'll find out together. I might even just leave it in game. I don't know, but I really don't know what I was thinking when I built this. Instant regret as I delete that. So yeah, I just continue to move around the sign here, and I think it makes sense on the main entrance there. And now I'm remembering that I actually cover up with rocks, which I think is the best move. It looks completely natural, and it flows you directly into the queue, in my opinion. Continuing on, we're just filling out the area here. It's really starting to come together. There's obvious gaps that still need to be filled in that we don't get to today. But I just think that the area does come along quite nicely here. Just the different water features. Like I keep saying this phrase, but it pulls you into the queue, and that's exactly what rides should do. So as we go on here, we start to once again play with the splash area of the ride. I don't feel like, one, the in-game splash does not do it justice, but two, I don't think what I actually added at first was enough. It wasn't as dramatic enough to justify having a bridge where guests can watch and get drenched by the ride's impact with the water. So here you can see me kind of just adding that and just making it really dramatic. And now we start on the bridge itself. And this is probably my favorite part of the entire build. It's once again inspired by White Waterfalls at Carowinds, the old Splash Boats coaster, or not coaster, ride there. And it's definitely not the same thing by any means. And it's kind of nice to go off of loose memory, because I haven't been to the park in a while, and that ride has not been in operation for, gosh, I don't know how many years, but just going off the loose imagery in my head and loose vibe without referencing pictures seems to be the best way for me to build these kind of things. But I had a lot of fun using these wood beams here to build this structure. It's a little wonky at first, but it really does come together quite nicely. The cool thing about this kind of structure is with that wall in the back, you really can't escape the impact of the water hitting you. It's going to hit that wall and it's going to splash back on you. I would imagine that there's vents that lets water escape, but man, like I remember as a kid going up to Whitewater Falls and standing on that bridge on a really hot day, like a 95-degree day, and just getting hit with that wave that Whitewater Walls made, and whoo, man, I mean, it would cool you off instantly. So having that field translate into this park is exactly what I'm going for, and I think this build and this design captures it. It's a really simple design, but it just ties the whole entire area together and gives the ride just a little more purpose, I think. So continuing on here, we're just going to finish off to the station, change the level here, add some lights here in a moment. Lots of copying and pasting per se. So yeah, I think I'll let the time lapse kind of talk for itself. One thing I want to just kind of add off topic to the video is talking into a microphone is not necessarily my forte. Even on stage when I perform, I don't have a microphone. I've tried it a couple times, and it's just not my cup of tea. But this definitely has a therapeutic kind of aspect to it. I do think I'm getting better at it, which, it's you do it so much, you kind of start catching your habits, like saying repeat phrases and stuff. But it's been a unique experience doing that. I've never really had direct feedback on myself, just being able to like record and watch everything going on. So thanks for tolerating that as I go through learning how to be a YouTuber per se on this side of things. Back to the game. Last element we add here is this waterfall. You may have saw me in the last episode trying to figure this out, and I actually do this time. I'm pretty proud, pretty excited to get that to work. It blends in perfectly with the bridge, and really probably could have added a little more detail there to add the source, and maybe I'll do that in the next episode. But if you don't get wet from impact, you're definitely getting wet from that waterfall. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to just a walkthrough of the area and do a POV. The camera spazzes out here for a second, so ignore that fade. But yeah, walking in here to the left, you have your exit and your bridge, and we enter the queue here to the right. queue does need a little more detail, but like putting some rocks there, and I'll probably do that off camera. There's not really a reason to record it, but you get a really great view of the ride. And obviously the guests in this park, they agree that the lack of water rides was a problem because they are lined up for this ride. But the panoramic view through the queue, I think, was a great choice. I'm really happy with how that turned out, just being able to see the entire landscape of the ride itself. So making our way around the entrance here, another camera issue. I'll get better at it, I'm sure. Walking into the entrance here, we're gonna go ahead and jump on a boat and get a ride. So I'll let the POV do the talking. Enjoy. So yeah, there it is, Wonder Falls. I think with this episode, we're pretty much done with this ride at least. I've thought about custom supporting it, but I think I'm going to hold off on that. The next episode, I'm going to kind of just work on this area right here and just button that up, probably maybe add a snack or a drink stand, and just clean it up, make it a little more presentable. Man, I really want to add custom supports. I don't know. I might do it off camera. We'll see, but there's a nice view of the drop and the custom splash. Little massive, but I actually really like it a lot. It's very dramatic. It fits perfectly. Also, I wanted to note, Red Spire. The Red Spire is here. I had a friend tell me, put the Red Spire in, man, you won't regret it. There it is. Well, anyways, thank you so much for watching the wrap-up episode of Wonder Falls. In the next episode, we're going to tackle the next big issue, which is the lack of family rides. There's not a family area in here, so we're going to be tackling that in a multi-part series. So once again, thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe, add notifications, all that good stuff, and drop a comment. Tell me what you like about this episode. Tell me what you think this ride might need, and maybe I'll do a follow-up episode in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day, night, or evening, and take care. Bye.